Hi guys, I'm going to start with a Mystical Shaman Oracle today with number 25, the Holy Mountain. In this deck, it talks about the Holy Mountain being representative of how different native peoples and, throughout history, mountains always represented like a spiritual journey. And even in the tarot, that represents your journey, right? And the invitation in here says, the Holy Mountain invites you to go on a sacred pilgrimage to acquire vision and perspective. First, you must accept the present situation as an opportunity to discover higher understanding. Find a sacred altar where others who came before you have prayed and found wisdom, and make your offering there. Make a commitment to walk with courage, love, and compassion until you see with a clarity the perfection of all. And I find this interesting because I had, I can't remember what it was. I can't remember if it was a reading I did for myself or whatever, but the focus of making a commitment, making an oath, that type of thing to your path. Because maybe somebody is, just discovering the trajectory of their path right now. So whether this is somebody or this is, collective, this is an endeavor you're on, a relationship or whatnot, this I feel like is saying that there's a deeper part, a more meaningful part on this path. And those of you that resonate with this, this is what is happening at this moment. And so in the first column, we have the Page of Swords, and then we have the Lovers. And this is kind of like the my present situation type of column, or, what the energy is now. And so with the Page of Swords and the Lovers, I feel like this is saying that either you're getting messages about, whether it be in your relationships or whether it's inner messages, right, from that deeper part of yourself, more balanced understanding. But I feel like it's also you're getting an understanding of a more balanced path, right? Whether this is a relationship, because we do have the Lovers and we have we have the Lovers, we have the Ten of Cups, we have the Eight of Wands, and we have the Hierophant. So, this could be about a relationship. But I feel like whatever this is, it's deeper than that. So, this could be like power couple type of vibes. I don't know. Oh, I hate the word vibes. So, also, I feel like, because the Page of Swords, this is somebody, is quick action, quick thinking. So I think that you're at a point where you're able to kind of see things how they are. You're understanding the value that the balancedness of the situation has, right? And if this isn't a relationship, I feel like you're understanding what both sides of the coin, both sides of the relationship, both sides of yourself, even if it's not a relationship, you have a greater perspective, so that allows you to make a better decision, right? So in the column of what we need to work on, what we need to focus on, we have the Star and we have the Two of Swords. So I think that's interesting. We have two major arcana, and then we have decision making and swords in paired with them, right? So what this is telling me, I feel like it's saying, because if you look at her, she is, using her intuition. A lot of times this can be like being confused, but I don't feel like it. I feel like she's got her eyes closed and there's the moon in the back, right? And there's all that water. And you can also see the mountain back there. And she's holding up the swords, but she's blindfolded. So she's making this decision and she's going with her intuition. So I feel like this is telling you to follow that hope, follow that faith of the Star. And also I feel like this is saying, the Star a lot of times can be pretty balanced as well, right? She's got 1 foot on the land and 1 foot on the water. So I feel like this is saying you're at a point where, you're able to make those quick decisions, but you're basing it on deep intuition that you've gained. And then we go to the third column, which is my column of what we have around us, what energies we have within us and around us, people, us, whatever, what we have at our advantage to help us with this situation. And we have the Ten of Cups, and then we have the Eight of Wands. So if this is like a love type situation or a relationship, this relationship is very connected, and I got chills. It's very loving and stable, and it's something that gives you that deep feeling of satisfaction and oneness. And with this Eight of Wands, there's a lot of passion in there too, you know what I'm saying? But it's also could be saying that, you have a lot of support coming in right now, a lot of love coming in right now, and a lot of intuitive messages too, because sometimes the wants can be that too, that are helping you kind of get that unconditional love feeling, right? You're seeing everything as the creator sees everything, right? You're seeing the wonder and the beauty in everything. So that's allowing you to make these decisions from your heart. And I feel like these decisions are deeply felt. You know, if this is about your journey, and there is a relationship or a connection involved, whether that's connection with another person, it's a deeply felt thing, and it's very supportive. So, you know, that doesn't require somebody else sometimes. Sometimes that's the connection with your inner self and your higher self and whatever you want to call it, you know what I mean? That kind of helps you go on that way. But also that does help in a relationship as well. And I feel like that's what it's saying, like whatever this path is, you have this knowledge. So maybe there's some type of knowledge that is allowing you to propel on this path. And then in our last column, we have the King of Wands. Is a very good king. This is a powerful king, but he's a very compassionate and very magical king. This is a king who is aware of his, you know, spirituality, and he's much like the Queen of Wands. He's very open about it, but he's not as flashy as she is. She's very flashy, but that's okay. That's just who she is, and she's all right with that. And in this deck, we have the Hierophant as Shiva, which I think is awesome. And, you know, the way that they describe it, I really like the way they describe the Hierophant in here. And it's about, you know, having that understanding of the wholeness between the subconscious and the conscious. The two devotees represent, you know, partial selves. And then this is kind of like the combination of, it completes the triad of the Empress and the Emperor, which if you go to the lovers, that's who that's supposed to represent. And I just think it's beautiful. But anyway, so it's about having that inner knowledge and being balanced inside. I mean, spiritual balance is huge, you know what I mean? Because we have to live in this world. We can't just, you know, escape into the ethers, especially if we have commitments and whatever, because then we create more problems, you know, whether you believe that, you know, it's all an illusion or not. Either way, it feels real, right? So you might, you got to think about that. You know, it's safe than sorry. But anyway, so I think with the King of Wands and the Hierophant together, I feel like this is saying that you are, whoever this is, you, we, me, I, like Ice Cry likes to say, whether this is you or a collective, this is somebody who is really able to lead spiritually with the King of Wands, especially with the Hierophant. This is something that is very important to you. A lot of times we see, oh, there's a big old eagle up there. That's so beautiful. Anyway, but this is a person or a collective that has a deep understanding of what their path really means. I feel like this part of this path, all my babbling is saying that I feel like on this part of this path, we finally understand what it is that we feel, what we believe, what it is that we're trying to convey. So this is definitely for some sort of spiritual teacher, whether it's through your actions, something you create, or even within your relationships. This is something that is a balanced understanding of the outer and inner self and how those things work. I definitely feel like somebody is at a point to where there's less indecision, right? We kind of have a better understanding, but at the same time, we're allowing our hearts to guide us. And that's what gives you that better understanding. And that's what gives you that clearer guidance, right? It's clarity through intuition. So I feel like this is really beautiful for somebody. And then we go to our next card, which is number 54, the Sweat Lodge. Ooh, and there's a bird in there. And it looks just like the bird I just saw above the trees. I wish I would have got a picture, but I didn't. That's okay. And so the essence. The Sweat Lodge represents the womb of the Mother Earth. Volcanic stones are heated on a fire outside, then brought into the lodge and placed in a shallow hole in the center. Participants sit in complete darkness around red-hot stones to sweat away old habits and beliefs and heal disease. When you return humbly to the womb of the Mother, you are offered second chances. And the invitation says, this is a time to journey inward into the dark and hidden places of your soul to reconnect with the ancient earth wisdom. You can also create a sacred and intimate space in the dark by lighting a candle, observe what emerges, and without judging it and invite it to bring you its gifts. You are being offered an opportunity to shed and heal from the aspects of your life that you have outgrown. Do not worry that you will be consumed by the process. Yeah, because I think a lot of times, when we're indecisive or, we're not sure we're doing the right thing on our path, or especially if it's a deep spiritual path, because, a lot of times we have those imposter syndrome when really we shouldn't, right? Because if you think about it, I just got chills, so maybe this means something for somebody. But this is like, a part of all of us. Nobody has any better quality than any other person to express what that is, right? To express their spiritual understanding. And when it comes from somebody who's really done all this work and we're at this path, at this level, I think it's, beautiful. And I feel like, with them saying, this is like your second chance. I feel like we get many chances and then, sometimes we slip up, but then we get to go back up, right? 2 steps forward and 1 step back, says Paula Abdul. But anyway, so I feel like this is what this is saying is, there's this beautiful part on your path, and whoever this is, if you're in a relationship, this is a relationship that's supportive. If you're not in a relationship, the community around you, whether in you or outside of you, and I think spiritually, no matter what it is, we are supported. And this is something that, we are being guided by our intuition. And this is something that we are teaching to others. And I think it's beautiful. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you later.